I'm not really sure where to start this, because for most of my life, nothing unusual ever happened to me. I'm not the kind of person who attracts drama. I'm 29 now. I work a normal office job, doing inventory for a medical supply company, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I rent a small duplex on the edge of town, kind of half suburban, half industrial. There's a storage facility down the road, and a closed-down car wash across the street. At night it gets really quiet out here, too quiet sometimes. But for the first year I lived there, it felt peaceful. I moved in around early March, still a little cold out. I remember the first night clearly because I slept on the floor with just blankets and my phone charger stretched across the room. The place smelled like fresh paint and dust, empty rooms echoing. My routine settled fast. Wake up at 7, 10 a.m., leave by 8. Back home around 5:40 p.m. Microwave dinner, YouTube, shower, bed around midnight. Nothing special. The street would go dead after 9:30 or so, maybe 1 or 2 cars every hour. The motion light outside my kitchen window would flick on sometimes if a cat ran past, or the wind hit the bushes. Normal stuff. For months, nothing felt off. Then, one small thing happened. It was around late April. I remember because the weather had just started getting warmer, and I had my windows cracked open. I got home around 5:50 p.m. that day, took off my shoes, dropped my keys on the little table by the door like always. I'm very particular about where I leave things. Keys always in the bowl, wallet next to it, phone in my hand. But when I went to grab my mail off the counter, I noticed the bathroom light was on. I don't leave lights on, ever. Electricity bill paranoia. At first I just figured maybe I left it on that morning, but I actually stopped and thought about it. I remembered brushing my teeth before work. I specifically remembered turning it off. Still, memory's weird sometimes, so I just shrugged it off and turned it off. Didn't think about it again. Life went back to normal. Weeks passed. Nothing. Then around mid-May, something else. This one stuck with me more. It was about 10:40 p.m. I was in bed scrolling my phone. All lights off except the hallway nightlight. Window cracked open. I could hear crickets outside and the occasional car in the distance. I remember checking the time because I had work early the next day. 10:42 p.m. Right then, my motion light outside the kitchen turned on. It shines straight through the blinds, so my kitchen glows for a few seconds whenever something passes. Usually it's quick. On, then off. This time it stayed on. I waited. 10 seconds. 20. Still on. I figured maybe a raccoon or something, but then I heard something. Not loud, just footsteps. Slow, like someone walking across gravel. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Right under my kitchen window. I froze. My place sits maybe 15 feet from the sidewalk. Nobody really walks around that late. It's not a busy area. I checked my phone. 10:44 p.m. The steps stopped. The light stayed on. Then after maybe 30 seconds, it switched off. Silence again. I told myself it was just someone cutting through the lot, or maybe someone walking their dog. Still, I locked my bedroom door that night. First time I ever did that. After that, life went back to normal again. Summer came. Work got busier. I honestly forgot about it until July. This one felt more personal. I came home around 6:05 p.m. It was still bright out. Sun low, but not dark yet. I opened my front door and immediately smelled something. Cigarettes. I don't smoke. Never have.
The smell was faint, but fresh, like someone had just finished one, maybe 10 minutes earlier. I stood there in the doorway for a second, just sniffing the air like an idiot. I even checked my couch and trash, thinking maybe a neighbor or maintenance had come in for something. But no one ever enters without notice. Everything looked normal. Nothing moved. But the smell lingered for a good hour. That bothered me more than the footsteps, because smells don't just happen. That night, I checked all my windows, all locked, doors locked, nothing missing. I told myself maybe it drifted in from outside. Still, it felt wrong. After that, little stuff started happening more often. Not big things, just small ones. My kitchen chair slightly pulled out when I was sure I pushed it in. My trash can lid open. the back gate unlatched. Once my bedroom window was open maybe 2 inches when I always keep it shut during the day. Every time I had a logical explanation ready. Wind, bad memory, neighbors, but it kept happening. Like once every couple weeks, just enough that I couldn't ignore it, but not enough to prove anything. By September, I started getting paranoid. I bought one of those cheap indoor security cameras online. Nothing fancy, just motion alerts and recording. I set it up on a shelf facing the front door and living room. I told myself it was just for peace of mind. The first few weeks, nothing. Just me coming and going. Occasionally, the motion light flicking on outside. Then, one Thursday, something happened that I still think about all the time. It was October 12th. I only remember because I checked the date over and over later. I got home late from work, around 7:15 p.m., cooked pasta, watched TV. By 11:30, I was half asleep on the couch. Went to bed around midnight, slept fine. Next morning, around 7:05 a.m., my phone had 3 camera alerts from 2:17 a.m. Exactly 2:17. All 3. My stomach dropped a little. I opened the app. The first clip showed my living room in night vision, grainy and green, empty. Then, at the bottom left corner, near the front door, the handle moved slightly, like someone testing it, not opening, just turning it a little, slow, then letting go. Second clip, same angle, maybe 30 seconds later, the door handle again. This time it turned harder, like someone actually trying to open it. The door shook a little, then stopped. Third clip, 2 minutes later, nothing, just empty room. No person visible in any of them, but the handle clearly moved. I remember just sitting on the edge of my bed staring at my phone at 7:12 a.m., heart pounding. My front door has a deadbolt and a regular lock. If someone tried hard enough, I probably would have heard it. But I sleep with a fan on. Maybe I didn't. I checked the door. No scratches, no damage, but that meant someone was there at 2:17 in the morning, trying my door. After that, everything changed. I stopped feeling comfortable at home. I started double-checking locks, sometimes triple. I installed a second camera facing the back door. For a while, nothing else happened. Almost like whoever it was knew. Months passed. Winter came. Cold, empty nights. Snow. The street got even quieter. And then the car showed up. First time I noticed it was around early December, maybe 8:30 p.m. I was taking trash out. There was a dark sedan parked across the street near the closed car wash. Engine off, lights off, just sitting there. Not super weird, but nobody ever parks there. There's nothing there. I figured maybe someone on their phone. Next night around 9:10 p.m., same car, same spot. Third night, around 10:05 p.m., still there. This time the engine was running. I could see exhaust in the cold air. No interior lights, just idling. I stood there by my trash can pretending to tie the bag, just watching. After maybe 40 seconds, the headlights turned on. Then it slowly drove away. No rush, just calm, like they didn't want attention. After that, I started noticing it randomly. Some nights it wasn't there, other nights it was. Always parked across the street, always facing my place. I told myself it could be anyone, someone waiting for a ride, a delivery driver. But it started lining up with the same nights my motion light would trigger for no reason. Around this time I mentioned it to my neighbor, old guy named Carl who lives in the other unit. I asked casually if he noticed a car parking late at night. He just shrugged and said, "Yeah, I seen it a few times. Figured it was yours." That didn't help. One night in January, around 11:50 p.m., I decided to actually walk outside when I saw it. I don't know why. Maybe I was tired of feeling scared. I grabbed my jacket and stepped out. Cold air hit hard. Dead silent street. The car was there. Engine running. I started walking toward it slowly. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it. About halfway across the street, maybe 20 feet away, the car's brake lights lit up. Then it just drove off.
Not fast, not panicked, just leaving, like they knew I was coming. That calmness bothered me more than anything, like they weren't scared of being seen. After that, I stopped going out at night. Then came the worst night, late February, around 1:30 a.m. I couldn't sleep. Wind was hitting the side of the house, that hollow whistling sound. I was just laying there staring at the ceiling. Phone said 1:37 a.m. Then I heard it, very soft, metal, like a fence gate, my backyard gate. It makes this tiny squeak when opened. I know the sound because I hear it every time I take trash out. I held my breath, waited, nothing for maybe 10 seconds. Then slow footsteps, on dirt, behind my house, moving toward the back door. I checked the time again, 1:39 a.m. I didn't even think I opened the camera app. Backdoor camera, night vision. For a second it showed nothing. Then the motion triggered, and a shape moved across the frame. Just a person's shoulder and arm passing very close to the lens. Too close, like inches away. They weren't trying to hide, they were just walking past my back door, casually, like they were checking it. I watched live for maybe 2 full minutes, nothing else. Then the motion light shut off. I didn't sleep at all that night. Sat up until 6 a.m. with a kitchen knife like an idiot. I never called the police, because what would I say? Someone might have walked near my yard? It sounded stupid, but it didn't feel stupid. It felt like someone was slowly testing my house, learning my routine, seeing when I reacted. After that night, I changed my schedule. Sometimes I'd leave lights on, sometimes sleep in the living room, trying to be unpredictable. Things quieted down for a while, too quiet. Then about 3 weeks ago, something happened that I still can't explain. It was a Saturday, around 8:20 p.m. I decided to walk to the gas station 2 blocks away, just to get out. Cold air, empty streets. I remember checking the time when I left, 8:23 p.m. I walked past the car wash lot, and that same dark sedan was parked there again. Engine off this time, windows tinted. I slowed down, just looked at it for a second. Couldn't see inside. My chest felt tight. I kept walking, got my snacks, headphones in, left the store around 8:41 p.m. When I walked back past the lot, the car was gone. But when I turned onto my street, it was parked directly in front of my house. Hazard lights off, just sitting there. That had never happened before. I stopped walking, maybe 60 feet away. My brain was screaming to just go back to the store.
But I didn't want to look crazy, so I kept walking, slow. I checked my phone, 8:46 p.m. Each step felt louder, crunching gravel. My hands were sweating even though it was freezing. As I got closer, I noticed the engine was running, very low idle, windows still dark. I tried to casually glance inside, couldn't see anything, no movement. I walked past it, pretended not to care, unlocked my door, went inside, locked everything, turned off lights, peeked through the blinds. The car stayed there for 10 minutes, 15. At 9:04 p.m., it slowly drove away. No headlights until it reached the corner, just darkness sliding down the street. That was the first time I genuinely felt like someone was watching me specifically, not random, me. And now, lately, it's quieter again, too quiet. No car, no footsteps, nothing. But sometimes, around 2 or 3 a.m., I wake up for no reason, dead silence, and I just have this feeling, like someone standing outside the window, not moving, just waiting. Last night, at exactly 2:17 a.m., my motion light turned on again. Stayed on for almost 5 full minutes. I didn't check the camera. I didn't look outside. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, listening to my own breathing, pretending I didn't care. Because for some reason, it feels safer if they think I don't notice. And every time the light flicks on now, I don't move. I just wait in the dark, counting the seconds, hoping whoever's out there gets bored and leaves. But sometimes, it stays on longer than it should, like someone's still standing there, right outside the window, not knocking, not trying the door, just watching.